then the capital went like it was really hard for me, and I didn't do as well as I would have wanted. And then I dropped from the first heat to second heat, and I had only like, I think it was 1 hour break before the second event, the muscle lab one.
Oh, okay.
And then I had,
that's a huge factor. That's a huge factor.
I had like 1 hour or 50 minutes less rest as other guys.
Let me check this out. Henrik, when you came on the scene in 2021, when you first made the games, for me, and I think for a lot of other people, it seems like you came out of nowhere. But that's not really the case, isn't it?
No. Like it maybe seems like so, like when you get like out of nowhere to the games, and actually it was my first year in the semifinals as well. I never qualified for the regionals, but it's
really,
yeah. But it's, I think the sport is about so small marginals. Like you could be really close to qualify to the regionals or to the games, but never make it, and then it just clicks 1 year, and suddenly you are like, whoa, he just came from out of nowhere. Like, but it's, I've been training like really long time and focusing for the training like many years, so it doesn't feel like I came, for me, that I came out of nowhere, but yeah, it might seem so.
Yeah, for sure. For you not. Since when did you try to make the games, or did 2021, was it like, I'm gonna try to get to regionals, and it came as a surprise that you got to the games, or was it your goal in that year?
Well, I always go like one step at a time. Like my goal was first to get to the semifinals, because it was 60 people from the Europe, and then when I got like pretty decent spot from the quarterfinals, I think I was 13th, and top 10 basically get to the games. So I was like, okay, I have really good chance to make it. And then after that, I had goal to qualify for the games. Yeah.
Cool. And since when did you try to make it to the scene? When did you first start finding CrossFit and working out?
I think it was like 2014, 2015, somewhere near that. And my first competition was in 2015. It was like half a year after training.
Wow. So really not out of nowhere.
Yeah.
That's cool. And how crazy is the European region? I think like when you look at 2021, there were a bunch of new faces like from Europe on the scene, which made a huge splash. Like you were on the jiu-jitsu first came on the scene. How crazy is the European region? How's
it's really talented. Like I think 10 people getting to the games from there is too little. Like it should be 15 or something.
Yeah.
Like
I think so too. I think they should change the system, like from the performance at the games. Like if you look at the placements at the games, like Europe is always like in the top 10. There's so many good people, and they have so little spots. Like it's the same for Australia, I think. So like Europe and Australia are really good regions for me. And it's also like, yeah, they deserve more spots, I think. They should change the system. I don't get this, like at the moment it's for participants in the open, I think. Like from, if you have a huge country, then of course you have a lot of participants, but it doesn't say like for the quality, I think.
Yeah, but actually if it goes from the participants, it should changed this year because Europe had more people in the open than yesterday. So we'll see what they do.
Yeah, and it's getting way more popular over here, I think, in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
If you look at the semifinals, like from the spectator view, it was stacked. Like the stadiums were sold out. Like if you look to the States, there wasn't that many spectators around at the semifinals. Yeah. And in Europe and in Australia, it was packed. It was so much fun.
Yeah. Were you watching any semifinals live?
Not live. I watched them all at the screen.
Okay. Yeah.
But it was amazing. And I was at the when it was in Berlin one year. I was there. Or I don't know if it was in Berlin or was that the Invitational. Something was in Berlin some year, and I was there, and it was amazing. But if you also look at the off-season events like Madrid last week, it's packed.
Yeah,
like
it is.
The people go there and watch it. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So you're from Finland, and of course there's this like now you're telling me you started in 2014. Was there any was Mikko Salo involved in you getting into the game, or was that past your generation?
Well, he definitely was involved, like from just that he won the games, and that's how I actually got interested about the CrossFit, when I read some news articles and saw some cool forest training videos in YouTube about him. So, yeah,
these times are so crazy. Like I watched I think last year I started to watch like the CrossFit Games videos from the other way around. So I watched everything like recently, and then I clicked on YouTube the oldest first, and I watched all the old videos like 2011, 12, 13, 14. And say he was crazy, man. There's this one documentary where he is training in Finland, and he's like doing, I don't know, I think grace or something in a small weightlifting gym in Finland, and everyone is just like, what is this guy doing?
So I know it. Yeah. I think it was filmed in Pori, and I've been there training with him quite many times.
Cool. So you met him actually?
Yeah, he was actually coaching me for maybe 3 years, I think. Yeah.
Is the community in Finland like really tight, or is it like growing like here in Germany too?
I think it is growing like all the time, but there's maybe more of like normal people training and doing. I'm not sure that there is that many like really possible games athletes coming, like couple pretty good, but I think the CrossFit has been like, it's evolving really quickly here.
Yeah, but do you train at a box or do you train at home? Like when
a bit of both. Like my home gym is like CrossFit Basement in Helsinki, but then I have, with my girlfriend, we have like barn gym it's 1 hour away from the Helsinki, but it's a cold place, so we can train there only like maybe 5 months a year.
Really? And then it gets too cold?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. How much degrees is it right now in Finland?
I think it's like 9.
Still in the summer. Whoa, wow. Yeah. That's not much.
But it's now getting colder. Like it was maybe 1 month ago, it was still like almost 30. Yeah. But it gets really cold pretty quickly.
Yeah, over here it's the same. We had like, I think it's a heat wave like in Europe. Do you feel this a lot in Finland? like the climate change and stuff? Is it like obvious in your country?
I think we've had a bit warmer summers. Yeah, like it's been over 30 degrees a couple of years now, and it's not that usual.
So when I asked this question about Finland and the community, are you like rather the person who trains on his own, or are you like really looking forward to get into training camps and stuff? I saw you like training with Jana before the games and stuff. Is it something you look forward to, or are you like pretty on your own and working out in a barn?
Well, it's a bit both. I really like to train with Jonna, and then I have other training partners, one Ludwig that does the training plan as well. So we do most of the like really hard trainings together, or three of us. Like I really like it. Yeah. But then there's places I like to do alone, like some zone 2 training and some bodybuilding stuff on the off season. It's good to do alone sometimes.
Yeah, and I think that this is like in my head. There's this image of like the Nordic countries, that the athletes from there like just being that way. Like Mikko trained in a closet. I think he had his rower in a closet. And that's like an image in my head. I was like, these guys are just working out in the wild and getting to be like animals.
Well, maybe, yeah, maybe it's people think about it, and it's maybe a bit more usual for us, but we've been with Jonna and others like, yeah, we should train more together. Like we can push so much at each other, so it's good.
Is this a factor when you go to the games that you train so much? Like I saw you like doing handstand walks outside and stuff. Is this like an implement you train before the games?
Yeah,
Or outside?
yeah, we like to go outside pretty much, because I think in the games over the half of the events are outside, and then when we have some like hot weather in Finland, we try to use it. It's not even close to the weather in Madison, but something.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. And I think like Europe has and especially the Nordic countries, they have an advantage in that because there's so much outside. I think in the US, like if you live in a city in US, you're not outside that much, I think.
But at least they get used to the heat. I think that's a big plus.
Yeah. But maybe we know climate change is like coming, and we had like the hottest summer in Germany this year, so it's coming.
Could be.
It's coming, man.
I hope not.
Yeah, I hope we change it around. But I have a friend of mine. He's a photographer, and he was doing a series about the weather, just in general. Yeah. And he went to the German weather service, and they told him like the area where we live is like an old like construction area. It's in the middle of the country, and it was all this like really mild in the summer. And they were telling him like, yeah, in 20 years, this is going to be the new Toscana, like in Italy. It's going to be weather like in Italy here. And we're like, oh, fuck, man. How's it going to be in Italy then? That's crazy.
Sure. Yeah.
And 10 years is like something which is not so far away, you know?
No, it's not.
Yeah. Just crazy.
It is, yeah.
What sports did you play when you grow up?
Well, I did a bit of everything. I didn't like do as a professional anything. Like I did most of the sports by myself or with my friends, like on the free time and in the school. But I did 12 years of skateboarding, like, and then
skateboarding, really?
Yeah, and then I like to do cross country skiing and running.
Did your parents do sports?
Not that much, actually.
What do they think when they see you on a screen in a CrossFit competition?
Proud.
You have them?
Of course. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm always interested in that because when your parents are not like involved in sports themselves and they see you like pursue this way, are they like, what are you doing, Henrik? Do something solid. Do get some earn some money. There's no money in this.
Yeah.
Or are they do whatever you want? You're free.
Oh well, it's actually a bit like sad story. Like my father he saw my first CrossFit competition, but he passed away for like lung cancer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like it's now 7 years from that.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries, thanks. But then he was like, just do what you feel like, and he was really supportive for me, and it's been a huge like motivation to be like the best and like try to do as much success in this as possible. Yeah.
That's also kind of cool because when it's the first competition, it's like, then it's like the start of the journey, like almost in that sense, and you can make him proud with every other competition, you know? Yeah, that's a good motivation. Yeah. And it also shows like my grandfather passed away because of like colon cancer, and he was always like that guy who went into the mountains, and he gave that to me, I think, in my childhood. So when I'm in the mountains, I always think about him. So I kind of guess it's the same for you when you're on a competition.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. That's a sad but also cool story. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and when we look at your 2 times games qualifier now, like this year and the last year, what was the difference like in qualifying?
It was so much funnier to have the semifinals as live, because last year we did it online, and I feel like I'm much more better competitor like in the live competitions. So and of course I now I had been in the game, so I know that I had it. So it was a bit more like easier to go to the next season. But what you said, like there's so many good guys in Europe, like it was really scary to go to the semifinals because I knew that you can't fuck up anything or you're out. Like there's many good games, like many year games at least that didn't qualify this year. Like it's you need to do well.
Yeah, I think like Luka Djukic said it before the semifinals this year. I had him on, and he was saying no one in Europe can say he's going to the games for sure. I think that was a really significant sentence because after that, like 2 weeks later, he had his semi and he lost his game spot by I think 1 placement or 2.
Yeah,
and it was
like that.
Yeah, it was really significant. But was it like also was it difference mentally? Like competing online, competing in competition, you said that you prefer the competition, but was it also mentally like a difference?
Yeah, it was. Like I think I have much better like drive and can get much more out of me in the competitions. Like I think it was really good thing. There's so many like good athletes that are good in the home gym. They can do really crazy scores in the qualifiers and stuff. And that's maybe not that much of me. Like I don't like to do qualifiers and
Yeah.
It's even in the competitions you can do much like better events. Like there's so much more like other things than in the opens. Like you can do running and stuff.
Yep. Even if it's on a treadmill.
Yeah.
Is that when you run on a treadmill, like in a semifinal, is that fucking your head because you don't really know where the other people are?
Yeah. It's like you try to look. You see the one people on the left and one on the right, and you're like, okay, I'm a bit faster than them, but you have no idea about the like 8 others there or 7. I'm not sure how many we had in the heat, but yeah. But in the end, it was actually good because they moved the marks every 250 meters, I think, and then you saw that okay, I'm like 10 seconds ahead, and you could pace from that.
Yeah, I think that was a good addition for the athletes to see a little bit where you're at. Because of course, as a spectator, you have like the placements all above, but I think as an athlete on the floor, you have no idea before.
Yeah.
And that could fuck you up.
I was actually so happy that they had the mark about the distance because I was first to the runner in the event, and I won it like I think 16 seconds or something. But I went like first 500 meter really fast on the run because I wanted to do like a big difference, and then see how the others are going, and then I could like slow down in the end because it's much more harder if you had to sprint to the finish.
Exactly, yeah. I always hate it when running is at the end of a workout. Yeah. It's the worst, man. It's the worst because you have to go then.
Yeah.
Because every other movement you can like slow down a little bit, but in running there's no excuse. It's just here.
Yeah.
But I was talking about that I think it was Amy Alessi from Australia, and they were in their semis. They had also a running event, but it was outside. Like it was the first event there was called King Arthur or something. It was some barbell movements, and then they ran outside, and she told me, yeah, we thought this is gonna be on an air runner, and then we ran around the stadium, and it completely changed the event. So
yeah, I think there was so hot. Like
yeah, too.
I actually did that workout, and it was hard. Yeah.
Like, it was a fun workout because when you looked at it, it was so strategic. Like you could tell like people like James Newberry, they paced it really good. Like they focused on the run, and everything else was just like, I'm gonna get through this, like slow and composed. And the other people just blew out on the other stuff, and we're just dying at the end. So it was really strategic. It was really fun to watch.
Yeah.
How did you do it?
It went okay. Like I think the top 3 did pretty crazy good scores. Like of course I did it in training, but I don't remember the times now. But I think there was a couple guys that almost went unbroken both of the muscle ups, and then and Ricky died in the end. he was in a really good pace, but then the overhead squats got him.
Yeah. I think in the documentary about the semifinal, he was dying after the workout. He was completely like he was throwing up and shit like that.
Yeah.
But then he came back.
I think it was the heat. Like there was so hot.
Yeah, Australia.
Yeah.
Did you beat Tia's time?
I don't remember. Probably no. I don't know. Maybe.
I guess not.
Yeah, she must have been like the fastest. I don't think I beat him.
Yeah. When I ask you about the mental, about the qualification, like when I viewed it, I was thinking like, so yeah, he qualified 2021 in the online system, and it's also in my head, it's always like, I did that, I know I can do it, but now I have to go into live competition, and of course, yeah, I prefer it, but I did the other thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But I feel like the first year in the games it went really well for me, and I got like so much confidence from that if I only do my best and like if the workout looks good for me, I can do really well on that. Like I got like 1/5 and 6th and like some top 10 finishes in the games first year. So it built my confidence to be in the like live competition.
What was the hardest event at the games this year?
It was the capital, but the event after that was the muscle up box jump one, and it was a bit like I think I got a bit dehydrated from the Thursday, and then the capital went like it was really hard for me, and I didn't do as well as I would have wanted, and then I dropped from the first heat to second heat, and I had only like I think it was 1 hour break before the second event, the muscle up one.
Oh, okay.
And then I had
that's a huge factor. That's a huge factor.
I had like 1 hour or 50 minutes less rest as other guys.
Interesting.
Almost all the other were in the first heat in the capital, and they were in the first heat in the second one. But I dropped to the first heat, and yeah, it was really hard.
Interesting.
Yeah, the heat was so the humidity was incredibly hard. Yeah.
What did you think about the programming in general? Like first year, not Dave Castro programming.
I actually liked the events quite a lot, but of course there was some like I think there was a bit stupid standards, like in the handstand push-ups. It would have been better to touch something because we didn't know the depth, and it was a bit hard to know when you were doing good rep or no rep.
That was when you faced the wall and you had to cross like a line with your forehead or something.
Yeah.
I thought about that. I thought that you couldn't really tell on your own. You were completely reliant on your judge, weren't you?
Yeah. I actually started the workout. I was like, I'm pretty good at handstand push-ups and I'm good at echo bike. And then I started the handstand push-ups and I got 4 no reps in a row. I was like, fuck. Yeah.
At the beginning of the workout?
Yeah.
Wow. So how do you adjust in that situation? Are you actually hearing your judge, or is it like you stand up and look and I got 4 no reps?
Well, I think I just kept going, and then I went like super low, and I think I did like 11 or 12 reps in a row, and then I had to come off. It was pretty taxing because even like 1 or 2 no reps are pretty hard in that moment.
Yeah.
But I finished it okay. I was maybe 16th or something like that. I think top 20. So it wasn't that bad, but I think I would have been much faster without the no reps. But it was the case for every athlete. So
yeah, I think the game programming this year was a shit show for tall athletes like you.
And then there was like some weird things they did. Like we had the running with the jerks event, and there was like 2 platforms of the jerk blocks, and the second platform was like 5 meters further away than the first platform, and the line we finished the running was the same. So half of the field had to walk 5 meters more to get to the jerk.
Oh, okay.
So it's easily like 5 seconds. You don't want to run to the jerk blocks when you're really taxed from the first part.
And really?
Yeah, I did I said it to the head judge, but he was just like, yeah, you can't, like it's a no-go. Like you can't say anything about that.
Oh yeah, I didn't thought about that.
Yeah.
So they aligned it like that you didn't like smashed into each other, or what was the decision behind that?
I think there was not space enough. Maybe
Yeah.
I can show you a picture of it. I think I have. Well, you can't see that well from here, but like there's the first block, and the first blocks are here.
Mm.
So it's
Good.
It was quite
Yeah.
annoying.
Yeah, that event was strange too. I think it wasn't that the event which got moved because of the weather issues?
Yeah.
I think it first it was supposed to be on the first day, I think, and then they moved it to the third or something.
Yeah, it should have been the second event of the first day, but then it got moved to the rest day, so
Yep.
the Thursday.
Yeah. Do you think that also played a role? Like, if it's not like the games are so like the events are so important to have a strategic order. Like if you do that event, like if like you told, because the capital was so taxing, and then you went into the other event, and also the time differences play a role in which heat you are. Was that a problem? Like that event was supposed to be on day one, and then they moved it to the rest day.
I think it affected like totally. It was so hot on the rest day, and then we had to do the tour with the flags. The what it's called?
Ceremony.
Yeah, the ceremony day. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we had to stand there like quite long time, and then after that we had to do the event. So I think I got maybe a bit dehydrated on that day, and if you got dehydrated on the games, it's really hard to get back to the like 100%.
Were you bummed after the games for your placement? I think what was your finish?
24th.
24th, and the first year was 18th,
18th.
I think.
Yeah. I was feeling like that I was in really good shape before the games, and I think the semifinals even showed that I have really good events that I could do well, but I think that it didn't go that well this year for me in the games, but it's only second year, so still a lot of learning.
You had a goal in your head for placing before the games, or was it like, I'm gonna try to do better than last year?
Well, I wanted to be in the top 10, definitely, and it's going to be my goal for the next year, and we'll see how it goes.
That's interesting. Like the last couple of years are really interesting for me, because like it kind of is like a change of guards, like Fraser going, and then you didn't really know who's the next one, and is Medeiros like just a one-trick pony, or will he continue? And it looks like he continues. And there's also this changing in Europe, I think. Like, do you think like the days of BKG and also Jonna, like they were the top dogs in Europe for so many years now? Do you think that's changing a little bit, and there's some new faces on the scene?
I think they have like many good years left in them. Like I know I train with Jonna a lot, and then we do the same kind of programming with BK, so he's in really good shape. I think they still might have the best finishes in them, like, but then there's some really good guys in Europe, like Lazar and Uldis and many others. Like, never know. Like, it's hard to say who will continue how long, and
Yeah, the games are they're so crazy sometimes. Like I always have like when I watch the semifinals, quarterfinals, and all the off-season stuff, I always have like an impression like, for example, this year I thought so, oh, BKG is in the best condition ever. He's clearly gonna be on the podium or even better. And then it's his like worst year in the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. And there were other situations where I thought so, oh, this guy isn't that in tune this year. He's not gonna go good, and then he makes second or something like that. So the games are so different than. Is it because it's like the longest competition with like 15 events, or what is the deal with the games?
I think that's one thing. It's so long, who can recover best, and of course, I think especially this year, who the programming had pretty big difference making. Like, but then I think it's really important to get good momentum pretty early, so you're gonna be in the best heat, and because it matters so much if you have basically any workout to be in the first heat or top heat, how you say it. And
Yep.
you can see others like times and just pace with the others. There's the best guys in the heat, so yeah.
Yeah, of course you have like if you have the times from the further heats, you have like a time to chase, you know. It's always a difference.
Yeah.
For sure, yeah. It's also like for the general pub like me, if someone does a workout before me and I know a time I can beat, I'm gonna go harder and try to beat that time, and not gonna oh yeah, it's a good time. I don't know how it stacks up in other guys, but yeah.
yeah, and it's a mental thing. If you're in the like the worst heat and you win the heat, you might still have a lot of push in you. Like in the first heat, there's a couple of guys that's gonna challenge you, and all of you are gonna do better.
Yeah, I think there's rarely a guy in the first heat who wins an event.
Yeah.
Like I think Josh Bridges did it a few times in the past, but there's rarely a guy who sets the early time to beat and no one beats it.
Yep. But maybe some skill events, like the handstand push-up event might have been one of them.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw you training with Koski leading up to the games. What was that like? Is it like a regular thing you do, or is it like a one time this year?
I would say it's more of a like regular. We did the same last year, and last year we did all the online qualifiers and the semis together, and this year we did with the qualifiers together, and we lived in the States like a couple of weeks before the games together, and yeah.
What is the vibe between you Finnish people?
Well,
the vibe between you Finnish people, are you like, how's the training situation look like?
I like it. It's pretty like we get to work pretty quickly. Like it's not that much bullshit talking, but
I have a question. I have a question later because of the bullshit talking. Yeah, but was Jana robbed at the bike to work event?
You mean did Ricky did one lap too less little or what?
Yeah, I'm still not sure what was going on at that event. How was that like when you guys came into the finish line? Was there a mass confusion which just went on, or what was that like?
Yeah, it was pretty confusing. Like it was really hard to keep count on the laps. Like it was good that we had a little backpack with that I cycled with, so we were like, is this fourth lap or third, like, and then Janne passed me for a lap, and he was like, "What lap are you on?" Like,
really?
yeah. But
and you were like, I have no idea.
yeah. But I think Ricky did the right amount of laps.
Yeah.
Like, I think, of course, I can't be sure, but I know he's really good at biking. And Janne maybe went a little too slow in the last lap because he had so big lead, but then it got close to because he was in the last lane and Ricky was like,
yeah, when they came in.
Yeah.
When they came in, like Ricky was in the first lane and he didn't have to bike like further into the stadium. I think that was it. Yeah. Or now my new solution to it is that you told Janne that he's on the second lap when he's already on the third. when he asks you which lap are you on? Oh, it's just the second.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't do it.
Was that really messing with your guys' head? Like that event finish, everyone's confused, and then the weather is gonna break down and everything is shifting. Was that like, oh, what is going on this year?
I think it was really good event. Like, it wasn't good for me. I'm not that good at cycling, but I'm working on it now. And like, the main thing was like, okay, the toast bar were very easy. There's no rain yet, but then it got a bit of raining in the first, like, cycling. I think it was like fourth lap. I was like, fuck, I need to go really fast so it won't be so wet to do the chest bars.
Yeah.
And I think everybody was in the same, like, thinking the same. And then, but it wasn't actually that slippery. Like, I did couple pretty long sets, so it wasn't that hard for the rain.
Wow, that's really interesting that you have to counter in these factors in the workout. Like, oh, I'm gonna hurry up so that my bar isn't that wet.
Yeah. But it was nice that it was raining after the chest bars because it cooled you down a bit.
Yeah. Now I remember that one scene from Sarah Sigmundsdottir. I don't know. I don't remember the year, but it was at the Murph event at the games, and it was like really hot. And she came into the stadium, and before the pull-ups, she like poured a bottle of water over her head, and she realized, "Fuck, my hands are wet now."
Yeah.
Then she had to do 100 pull-ups.
Yeah.
So these are also like small things which make a huge impact then.
Yeah. In the capital event, actually, when we had the big flips first, then there was like ice bridge next to the line I had to run. I grabbed a like huge amount of ice to my hands and just ran with them, like, to keep cool.
That's awesome. So will you continue to train with Janne before the competitions?
Yeah, definitely. We've been doing a couple sessions together after the games as well now.
And I'm also interested, will you stay at the training plan?
Yeah.
Programming?
Yeah, I will.
What was that like? Did you programming with them longer, or was it that the start in 2021?
I started like 2020 November, so it was basically to that season. So just before 2021.
And how did you approach them? Like, from the outside, it always seems like that Yami is pretty much focused on like Annie and BKG. Was that, how did you approach him? And was he like, yeah, sure, let's get on? Or was there like...
Well, actually, I just ordered the like normal training plan. And I just put message to Yami that I've been doing this now for a couple months and really liking it. And he was like, cool. And we chatted a bit and I asked a lot of things from him, like about the performance and everything else, like that might help my performance, like sleeping and other things. And then I think I did the quarterfinals pretty well. I was 13th in Europe, and Yami was like, okay. He started to do like the individualized programming for me.
Yeah.
And then I got the games, and after that he's been doing all the programming for me, like individualized.
Cool. So there was a little bit of on-ramping.
Yeah.
This guy's proven now.
I had to prove myself, yeah. But we do actually quite a lot of same things as like Annie and BK together, and then we can compare our scores.
Yeah. Is the individualized programming a lot different than the usual one?
Well, yes and no. Like it's really similar, like during different times of the year. Like, but when the competitions come closer, it's a bit more like games type of training and stuff. And then during the off season, it's more of like my weaknesses and stuff like that. But
yeah,
it's pretty similar looking. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so because I'm doing like I don't know which track it is, for a year now. And I always see like on social media of you guys like, oh, they're doing the same stuff like I do today.
Yeah, there's similar workouts.
Just on a different planet. Awesome. Yeah, Henrik, I'm almost finished. Like I have a speed round at the end, and I also asked on Instagram if someone has a question for you, and there were some interesting ones.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna start with them. Mikko Salo, I have no idea if I just pronounced that right, wants to know if you would land a backflip.
Yeah, I can do it.
Have you tried?
Yeah.
So,
I haven't done it for a while on the like hard surface, but I think I can do it. Yeah.
I think Medeiros just land on his face at the Instagram video.
Oh yeah, I saw it.
I think that's where this has come from. Yeah, Lazar Duke wants to know who's the big shit talker at the games. The biggest shit talker at the games.
He is. I think Lazar or Brent Fikowski.
Really, Fikowski? Oh, I didn't see that.
But it's actually just because me, Janne, and Fikowski hang together so much. So it's more of like for us. I don't think he's that trash talking to others.
You have an example of Lazar talking shit?
I have so many, but well, I don't remember the good ones. But every time he's just before the events, he's like, "I'm gonna crash you," and I'm like, it's just just normal talk for us these days. I'm like, yeah.
He also wants to know who's your favorite Serbian.
I think Lazar and Djokovic.
Ah, Djokovic, really? Are you following tennis?
A bit, yeah.
What was your did you watch the US Open a little bit?
Yeah, I watched. Yeah.
What do you think about the new number one, Alcaraz?
I'm not like that. Don't know that specifically, but I think he's really, really good. It was sad that like Djokovic wasn't there, but
yeah, this is a really interesting year. Like at most of the Grand Slams, there aren't all the good people aren't there, and you can't really tell like if You can really tell. Yeah, you would have Djokovic beaten like Alcaraz, or was it? Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
My brother, Luffy's son, wants to know if you rather. This is like a German like trick sentence. Like, because in German the word for being poor and your arm is the same word. So the question is, would you rather cut your arm off or would be poor?
Or would be poor, was it? Okay. Well, yeah.
So in Germany it's like lieber Arm ab oder Arm dran. So it's the same word, and but it's a completely different meaning, you know.
Yeah. I would be poor rather than cut my arm off.
All right. So now the last thing's the speed round. So I give you a question and you answer as fast as you can.
Yeah.
All right. First one: 5K row or 100 burpees for time?
5K row.
Finnish sauna or ice bath?
Sauna.
Fraser or Froning?
Fraser.
Tia or Iceland?
What was the first?
Tia Tumi or Iceland?
Tia.
Some fruit or no sugar?
What was the first? Sorry.
Some fruit or no sugar?
Some food.
And the last one: snatch or clean and jerk?
Clean and jerk.
Oh, really? Nice one. I think you're the first one who takes the rower and the clean and jerk.
I don't like the 5K row, but I think I would do better in that than 100.
I think so too. Henrik, thank you for being on. I'm going to stop the recording now.